good place it should go. Oh! Hi there, guys. Welcome to this. I'm your host, Joey Campbell. And, as you can see, here's my rare collection. And I have my comic books of Marvels that came out in the 90s for the RoboCop 3, November 5th. And all these comics. But, I'm here to talk about Hellboy, the reboot film. So let me begin by telling you, I really don't read that much Image comic books. I read some like Stormwatch, Savage Dragon, and Spawn. That's really all I actually read. I've never read any more of them. I've never read Wildcats, Invincible. I've never read any of them comics, even The Walking Dead. And I know why I hate the TV series more than the comic books. But let me get to talking about why I freaking hate this. I'm here to actually talk about the Hellboy movie and the things I like about it and the things I hate about it and why it sucks on a quality level. Let's begin off with the good things I like about it. The makeup for Hellboy is the first thing. I think David Harbour was a great person to play Hellboy. I mean, sure, Ron Perlman was born to play the role of Hellboy, but he can be a different person. But you just have to nail that accent. You have to basically picture him in that role. You have to make sure he's that Hellboy. And I actually saw him playing this role. And the second thing is that I liked about this film is, well, I actually like some moments of the film. Like, it's a fun movie. It just makes it basically work in the show. The special effects were pretty cool. Now let's go into the bad things. So I went with the R rating. Okay, I really get why they gave the R rating because of the gory violence and basically swearing. The swearing part's okay. I actually like them parts. They were good. But like Jeremy John said, there's some moments where the gore should have been important and it really wasn't. Like when he was fighting off the giant, like he said, that was not pretty good because there's nothing to it. There's so many movies and TV shows that do this better, like Game of Thrones. They have important moments where the blood and gore comes out. Or Deadpool, the movies, where they have these important shots of gore and stuff, and they're perfectly displayed perfectly. It just feels like that this film decided that they couldn't do that because in 300 they did the exact same thing. Most of these movies did that, and how could this film not do this perfectly? But the second thing is that what doesn't want to be practical CGI. See, now what the Guillermo del Toro films was that it was more used with practical effects, not always CGI, and there wasn't that much CGI. This film decides to use both practical and CGI, and why some films can do it, some films can't. I mean, some films are actually able to make practical and CGI effects look pretty cool. That film is Iron Man, which had Iron Man's suit mixed with also CGI. And even Infinity War, which had CGI and practical effects. Some of these movies do well. But the main problem with this film is it does not know what it wants to be and the sequences. Like I said, the trailer is also going with the R rating part. The trailer showed more of this comedy film. And that's I really didn't like about was that the trailer showed more comedy. It was only to trailer 3 that showed more action and more gore and violence in there and more swearing than the original trailers did. But yeah, so the film stars David Harbour, directed by Neil Marshall, and has Mila Jovovich in this film, who played in the Underworld movies. So basically what happens is Hellboy must go to London, where he meets up with his father, Professor Brooms, and he takes him to the BPRD, where he meets up with a rare of characters, and he works with them on stopping her before she destroys the world, and everything else, including him ending the world with his horns. This is my main problem with the film is, it's a reboot. It's not a remake. Remakes are more like they're remaking the same thing but differently. A reboot is you're taking everything away from it, or a remake is kind of different. But let's talk about the first problem is. This is my problem with most reboot movies. If you're gonna reboot something, Sony or any other company, do it perfectly. When freaking Batman Begins was rebooted, sure they had the killing part in there, but they rebooted some way. Sure, in Spider-Man, the amazing Spider-Man films, they were rebooted. And Marvel decided to reboot their films with Spider-Man Homecoming by doing something different. Not giving him his freaking origins. But God, this movie does not decide to do this. You know what this movie decides to do? it decides to give us basically the same thing that we got in both two Guillermo del Toro films. The main characters. He's working with the BPRD. Here's what I would do with the freaking film if I was making and writing this Hellboy movie. Second of all, I would keep this. Well, I wouldn't keep the characters. I would only keep David Harbour as Hellboy. And he has a friend working with him. She's kind of like his detective partner. She meets up with him later in the film. But anyway, it starts off with him on the island. And he's basically not in London at all. He's not even in New York. Well, he is in the island though. And he's fighting out with these bad guys. And he's able to slush one down. As the guy has given the case. But before he can get it, he gets stabbed. He tells him that awakening is coming. So it was like, where? And he tells him, London. Because Hellboy's enemy is just this giant pig, I like to say. And Hellboy has to chase him down. And too bad he's escaped the island. So, he goes to New York or London. And basically, he teams up with this England detective. And they work together to basically stop the bad guy. That's the plot of the film. That's simple. But this film does have some moments, and my film would have some moments going to the BPRD, having some quotes and little references to the BPRD. Like I'm saying, I used to work with a team before me. She said, "Why don't you like partners? Why don't you work with one?" When she's running around the shop with them, he's like, "I used to work with a team before I left it. It didn't go so well. What happened?" And that's how it goes. He says it didn't go so well, so it will show that probably something didn't go right with the team. But yeah, that's how the film went with them saying them lines and stuff. And basically, like I said, the main problem with this film is him going to random places at moments. I like how he did capture what the comic books did with taking places like Guillermo del Toro was not able to do. Was put them in places where basically in Guillermo del Toro's films, they were always in cities and stuff. Where in the comics, the creator did was freaking... He put them more in typically... He put them more into actual places. More like, probably like cities and everything. He won't put them in there. He would put them in ancient places. So in this film, they did that perfectly. But he's waking up in random places. I think the reason is, many people don't quote this, is to get the film longer. They go to one place, get something explained. They go to another place, get something explained. Sometimes we really don't need everything getting freaking explained to them. Sometimes we just need it not to be explained. And this film just explains everything mostly when they go to places. But yeah, the main problem I could say with this film is it's not as bad as people said it was and how the internet plays it as. It's not a bad movie that much. I actually did enjoy some moments here. I thought some moments were funny and everything. But like I was saying, it's kind of like Venom. It's funny, bad, kind of like a B movie would be. It's funny, just funny and bad at the same time, where I can watch it and still like it. Because but like I'm gonna say is, Guillermo del Toro's films can never be replaced. And Guillermo del Toro even said in interviews that his film is not technically in the comic universe, but it's nothing like it mostly. He framed every shot perfectly by and by, making it feel so realistic in the world of Hellboy and everything else. Just like the comics did. But this film decides to stray away from that and everything, and decides it's going to be its own thing. And I'm not saying you can't do that. Golden Army did that, and they did well. But the main problem, like I said, with this film is it just didn't know what it wanted to be. And this film sucked, yes. Hit the like button.